All right, moving on from that particular story, let's go to the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Nigeria's power sector crisis. Pressure mounts on Tinubu to sack Adelabu. Persistent blackouts across Nigerian states have intensified calls for the removal of the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Over the past 4 months, electricity supply has remained erratic, with generation levels fluctuating between 2,000 and 4,000 megawatts, far below the needs of a population exceeding 250 million. As of March 29, 2026, electricity distribution companies received just 2,855 megawatts, highlighting the scale of the shortfall. However, electricity distribution companies, DISCOs, have attributed the situation to reduced generation, while generation companies, GENCOs, blame gas supply constraints linked to mounting debts reportedly exceeding 4 trillion naira. And that has been the report for this past few weeks. And a lot of Nigerians seem not to be having a good moment as far as the issue of electricity is actually concerned. At this point in time, what do you think should be the advice of Mr. President towards the Minister of Power when we look at situations like this?
Situation like this actually call for a sober reflection, and of course, people calling for removal of Adelabu. Most of them doesn't know what they are doing. Adelabu is just like a watch guard in that sector. So what can he do? The main problem lies, in the hands of the executive. And I must tell you, at this time, we all know that the problem is not from the young man himself. There are critical sector that, if you have your way, you don't want to kind of be a minister in that direction. But because
Mm,
of fame, money, and the likes, greeds, you want to go there. And most of the time, they actually end up throwing them out, just like the power sector, the CBN, then the NNPCL, all those sectors are issues. Although there are a lot of money there, that's why people are not complaining. However, see, nations, I said it last week, that those who are gang raping this nation are actually not just, uh, we the ministers or the politicians. It's actually power from other nation, other countries that want to sell their equipment, their generating sets. They are making a lot of money. If you actually get it right in power sector, you are going to put them into, you are going to demarket them.
yeah.
So that is why they are actually frustrating that effort. Because don't forget, all these power plants, all these machines that we brought in to actually give us to boost our electricity panels, who are those? Who are the producers? Are they not the foreign guys? So they have the power to actually influence it even where they are, and our megawatts drop constantly. So that's why I said he is just a watch gate or watchman or watchdog,
Mm,
doesn't have keys to the solution of the power sector. It is actually those people from the colonial masters era that knows how to actually deal with African nation, because they know that we ourselves are either lack the foresight in taking us out of our quagmire, out of our situation. So that's why I'm saying that the problem meditating over this nation is just not the ministers, even not the president himself. There are people that are actually standing outside this country that are actually putting us on our toes, on our nails. And that's why what we can only do is that until the president actually, get it right to actually bring us back as a nation. But I'm telling you here for free that it's not easy. It is easier said than done. Those people too will not want you to actually be truly dependent. They want you to be depending on them. They will not want you to be independent. They want to actually depend on them. So they can actually siphon your own money, and till their kingdom come.
okay. Now, when you say this, don't you think that at this particular point in time, in this position, in any position, when you are given, okay, the mantle that, okay, this is the place we want you to actually function, do you think the masses are actually concerned about how you get things done in such a sector?
Of course, masses are actually concerned about how you get things done. Masses are just like your own children at home. Nobody want to care where you get the money from. Nobody want to care to know where you actually have
And the reason
your
and the
solution for
reason
what
why
you
I'm
are
saying
doing.
the reason why I'm saying this, sorry, the reason why I'm saying this is because when we look at situations like this, we go back to, okay, the earlier screening by the president of ministers, and you will hear a lot people say, okay, at this point in time, are we sure this person, this particular individual is fit for this position?
All those ones are just jamboree, my brother. Even are you not telling me that we've not been having individual that actually fits for that position for the past how many decades now? Still, we are still where we are. The solution is not in their hands. They have our problem, my dear brother. Our listeners, you need to understand what is going on in this nation. No, just think about it. Which sector is actually working in this nation as we speak? Which sector can you actually say this is actually a green sector fighting that is working as we speak? If not only the politician sector that's actually working, and even they too don't have the solution. They are just there to just go and read themselves, and that's what the foreigners actually know, that these ones are just they are just lying low kings that after what they can actually get, and they push it to them, and they use their hands to also destroy the economy unknowingly, ignorantly. See, a man can get into poverty in a two-dimensional way. Number one, fall into it ignorantly. Number two, greediness of you want to actually have it alone, sense of reasoning. And what is happening to our nation is that greedy is just everywhere. Corruption is everywhere. So you are going to actually find yourself in such a situation, and I bet you, my brother, the solution is not in their hands. That's why at this point, please go and get your PVCs. I know that with doing this, we are going to actually get to that solution day someday and soon. Because let me tell you, I've said earlier, masses are there are the children expecting their father to come out, to come back home with money, with resources, with chicken. Nobody want to know how you get the chicken from. You steal it, I don't know, you work for it, someone dash you. What they want is just to bring it home.
Just give
So
it to me.
masses doesn't know. So why, when they are shouting, remove him, crucified him, taken away, the solution doesn't. It's not his fault. If he has his way, I'm telling you, he will fix the problem. But the problem is beyond him, is beyond the federal government itself. This is a problem that is being planted right from the days of the colonial masters. And I'm telling you, there's an adage there is this in my adage. Nǹkan tí wọ́n fi ń jẹ ẹ̀kọ ó wà lábẹ́ ewé. What the white man are using to eat the ẹ̀kọ, or what do you call the ẹ̀kọ now? It's under the leaf, because the white guys are making money from all these big plant generating sets, and you want to actually stay aloof. They are still going to stay with you, drain you, siphon you, because if they produce it, they are not using it. So they have to produce it for who will consume it, and they will bribe our ministers, bribe our senators, and they push those things in. So may God help our nation. This is deeper than what the president can handle. I tell you for a fact.
All right, moving away from that story, now let me take this particular story before we go on a quick commercial break. Military gets 2.3 trillion naira special funding amid security crisis. That's